A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Welcome into Turn 200's coverage of the Maximum Velocity CNC Home Designs Truck Series. It is about to be under the lights here at Martinsville, the paperclip, here in Martinsville, Virginia. Half-mile hot dog racing. It is always a very interesting night anytime, in any league, that you get the trucks out here to the paperclip. Welcome in, one and all. My name is Tommy Cook. We got the one and only Mr. Joshua Motichek alongside as well. What an interesting track. What an interesting venue. You seem to always come in to see these races in particular in Martinsville, so you probably have a pretty good idea of what we're about to see here.
Yeah, watched a few before my time as a driver on Turn 200, and Martinsville seems like it's always that classic short track asphalt racing for sure. So super excited about it. Super excited to be able to call for it for the first time as well.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the points. I mean, we've had 4 fantastic races here thus far this season. James Lehman is having a great go up at the top. He finally got that elusive second career victory with the series that he promotes. He is atop the point standings. Justin Michael, Heath Smith, Scott Patton, Riley Tilton, your top 5. Patton coming off a rough week last week. And very interesting to note, no Justin Michael here this evening. Although we do have a healthy field of trucks, this 87 truck will not be among them. But outside of P2 not on the leaderboard here, what sticks out to you after 4 races?
Honestly, I think P2 not being here is what sticks out the most. James Lehman, after his win last week, he's sitting in a very good position for the next closest driver to be missing here tonight. So I think he's going to be shooting to get as many points on the board as possible tonight to try and push that advantage that he has even further into the good.
Billy Bumgarner had a big week last week after a rough couple of weeks after his Daytona victory to open the season. Bumgarner jumped up 5 spots. He's now on the outside looking in. Don't expect Justin Michael to fall too far down, in the point standings. But he certainly will not be making up many points here tonight. Sounds like he's rehabbing a bit of an injury, headed into a potential championship opportunity Monday night in Truck 200. So he's putting all his focus on that. James Lehman with the victory. He's a short track guy. He could very easily double up here tonight. Scott Patton looking for his first win on the season with Max V. He could very easily take the victory here tonight as well. Heath Smith strong on the short tracks. Never a short track winner, though, in Max V competition. Riley Tilton, James Lehman, and I, all 3 of us actually, were up here in the booth chatting earlier. James has his eye on Riley Tilton to nab a victory just at all this season. I think a lot of us are kind of expecting that to happen sooner rather than later. That could very possibly happen tonight as well. I think truly anything can happen here at Martinsville, and anything can happen in the greater Max V world, as tonight is the CNC Home Designs Truck Series, but coming soon to a virtual track near you, it is the brand new ARCA car, the Maximum Velocity ARCA Series. Here is the schedule. It is the same kind of idea as what we run here on Thursday nights, but with a fast repair in the mix there as well. If you want more information, the link to the website is there, and I'll put it in the description after this video, just in case you're watching after the race is up as well. But maxvracing.com is where you can register to hop in the Maximum Velocity ARCA Series. I got to run the ARCA car for the first time the other night with the Pony Express boys at Daytona. Very interesting. Sounds like it's very true to life for some folks that have run the ARCA car IRL. But this is quite the diverse schedule. All that we're missing really is a road course. But Daytona, Phoenix, Richmond, Las Vegas, USA, Kern County. That'll be an interesting one. Chicagoland, biased, but I love it. Iowa as well. New Hampshire, Talladega, Martinsville, Michigan. That is a great ARCA schedule with a bunch of people who are really going to tear it up in this car. So excited for some ARCA racing. That will not be broadcast here on Turn 200, but they are working on getting a broadcast partner for that right now. So come join a fun league. Come run with the Max V guys. It is going to be a blast. Alrighty, qualifying is just now wrapping up. We've got 33 drivers that are going to get after it here tonight. That is going to be wild. Here at Martinsville, let's give you the starting grid for 191 laps. It is Scott Patton on the pole. Heath Smith will start to his outside. What do you know? James Lehman will start in third. 3 of the favorites here on the front 2 rows with Rob Haynes, Truck 200 winner from Talladega. Last Monday night, he'll start in P4. How about Dakota Floyd? 2 third-place finishes in a row for driver 57. He'll start to the inside of Will Kirk, who just needs anything to go his way this season. Kirk starting at 6. Anders Schulte, the 2023 Series champion, back for the first time this year. Very excited to see this 81 truck back on track. He'll start in 7th. Next to Riley Tilton. It is Johnny Hamby and Rod Mitten, your top 10 starters. Jack Watts and Jordan Neese on row number 6. Your 2-time and defending Martinsville winner and the reigning series champion Greg Mall starts in 13th next to Matt Montalbot. On row number 8, it's Brad Slagle and Chris Sargent, who just popped up into the points picture here. He'll start in 16th. Willie Evernham, Mike Milfelt way back here in P18. Charlie Widener and Mark Jackson to chase contenders starting on row number 10. Billy Bumgarner will start from the 21st position. Ty Young in 22nd. George Hendricks, Wally Turheimer, Trent Drum, your top 25 with Matt Sisseler. Big podium finisher from last week, his first career runner-up finish. But he will follow that up with a 26th place starting spot. Zachary Groover, Matt Rodolasso, Brandon Groover, Bill Paradise, Ryan McRoberts, Michael Van, and Chris Voiles. That is the full starting lineup here this evening. We welcome in the Motichek gang as usual. Hello to Robin, hello to Bailey, hello to Garrett Rainey as well, who always seems to pop up whenever Martinsville is on the docket. And we welcome in once again Mr. Joshua Motichek to give us the lay of the land here this evening at Martinsville.
Yeah, so first short track of the season definitely will bring some exciting racing. We're looking at 3 extra sets of tires as usual. Hearing rumors that tire wear falls off pretty quickly here, so keep an eye on trucks getting tight and getting free off. No fast repairs, no incident limits. The pit window is 70% fuel, so that'll put the pit window around the lap 130. But with the stage break, likely won't see green flag pit stops, in all honesty. Full race distance is 191 laps, so the stage break will be at the end of lap 48. So it should be a very interesting race here. 191 laps around Martinsville is definitely not a short race, to say the least.
No, it is not. Hello to Marilyn Beck, cheering on Mo Kirk, and yeah, Garrett Rainey happy he's not pushing all the buttons here this evening. Yeah, 191 laps. This will be the second longest Martinsville race that we've had with Max V. Cody Griffin won the first one all those seasons ago, and Greg Mall swept the races here in 2024 en route to a championship the very next week after that final Martinsville race. We average 16 cautions here at Martinsville. How many will we have here tonight? Scott Patton in control of this field, and we're racing at the paperclip. Not a great start from row number 3 in particular. Dakota Floyd and Will Kirk have stacked this field up, but the whole shot belongs to the 46 of Patton.
Yeah, Tilton and Rob Mitten both stacking up. It looks like Mitten has some rear end damage already, as well as the 12 of Jordan Neese behind him. So definitely a stack up on the outside row off the rip.
Lehman and Haynes side by side. This is for third. Schulte and Tilton side by side behind them, although Schulte will take that spot as Haynes having to work around the outside, which can work, but with the high tire dig that we were hearing about in practice, even though the track temperature only 80 degrees under the lights here at Martinsville, you don't want to be rolling around that outside for too long, and Haynes won't. He'll hop right back into the line. Here's Dakota Floyd from 5th, trying to get underneath this 199. Not going to make it work as of yet. Boy, Dakota Floyd has been awfully impressive here for only having 4 starts on the channel. Being friends with James Lehman, 2 third-place finishes in a row for this 57 truck. He's on a roll.
Yeah, Dakota Floyd has been very consistent so far this season. As well as Tilton. Tilton's definitely been shown what he's made of. Curious to see how well he will do here on a short track.
We've been talking about the new lighting model. It was fairly bright last week at Homestead. Not the case here. Pretty dim as we've got one around. In the back, it's Chris Sargent, and that will be our first caution of the night. The 66 truck was running in 16th, and now will drop all the way to the tail of this field. But as far as damage goes, looks okay. But that's caution number 1. Let's take a look. Going around the outside, that's Charlie Widener, and now Ty Young is the one that's underneath of him there. Oh, Young. Man, that's barely any contact, but that just goes to show how unsettled these trucks are at any given moment. There is not a lot of grip to be had here in these trucks.
Sargent got into the wall ever so slightly, but I don't think, being a short track, it will make much difference as long as there is no engine issues on that truck.
Nah, that truck's looking good. It's fine. I remember Martin Truex Jr. winning a race here without a right front fender. I think that's ideal, actually. I think some of these drivers should aim for that.
That's weight reduction.
Yeah, exactly. Cool the tires.
Yeah.
It'll be
Make it
just
some
fine.
racing.
So no harm, no foul. A little bit out of shape, but Surgeon, his biggest problem now is losing all that track position. Mark Jackson is on pit road. And this will put him down at quite a few positions. But he is all the way down to 33rd after starting in P20. Scott Patton has led them all thus far, as he often tends to do at the short tracks. Wins at quite a few of them, but never here at Martinsville. I made the joke. I was pretty proud of it a few days ago. You know, this Martinsville thing is pretty cool, but what if you took Martinsville and you doubled it in size and moved it into New England? Well, it'd be New Hampshire, which is Scott Patton's home track. He seemed to like that idea, but we're still running here tonight anyway.
Double filed back up. Pace truck is off. We will be going green.
Not too many laps off the board. This will be lap 10 this time. Patton in control of the field. Starts and restarts are often make themselves available for some chaos. So we'll see if we get any of that. Here into turn number 1, pretty clean towards the front of the field.
E. Smith getting a slow getaway. He's going to drop back to 3rd. Going to let Lehman get up to 2nd.
Lehman
Rob
to
Haynes.
P2. Haynes again, and boy, not a great feeling. Haynes is going to sneak in line here, but not everybody trapped on this outside is going to have that opportunity. At least not for a while. Schultz.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Schultz, I thought was going to get clear on Will Kirk, but Kirk does a nice job using what little momentum you can get from running this outside to try and fend off this 81. Now Kirk will get in line as, whoa, there's one out of shape behind them. It's Jordan Neese, and keeps it off the curb. As in front of them now it's Johnny Hamby, excuse me. Ty Young is in the wall behind them. Goodness gracious. Young.
3 wide.
Spinning a save. As they are 3 wide. And now Rod Minton with a problem. Minton is around and the caution is out. Matt Monsenbald tagged but saves it. Yep, this is Martinsville, if I've ever seen it. I mean, everybody is just skating on ice. And they're not even singing any songs. If they are, we probably can't air them anyway. So here's Mitten. Rear end damage there. But, I mean, he just gets on the brake. Maybe has too much rear brake dialed in. But, I mean, it doesn't even have to be that. Just the rear of these trucks are not hooked up at all. Just at all.
Yeah, trucks, well, cars in general, with the same power numbers that these trucks make, always a bit of an issue getting back into the throttle on short tracks. That is for sure.
Showing we had a crash under the caution, but it was just somebody coming to a stop, so that is obviously nothing. So Patton continuing to lead. Lehman, you mentioned it, great restart there to get himself up to 2nd. Heath Smith drops back to 3rd. Dakota Floyd is up to 4th now as Rob Haynes is still running in 5th. Andrew Schultz has worked his way up 1 spot to 6th. Will Kirk in 7th. Riley Tilton is in the 8th position. Johnny Hamby. What did I just call him a minute ago? It wasn't Johnny. I don't know why I said that, but Johnny's in 9th. Jordan Neese is in 10th. And don't forget about Greg Mall. I don't know how you could, but we're here at Martinsville.
He is up 2 spots.
Yes, indeed. Doubled up here, coming to lap 18. Still a long way to go, even till we get to the stage. Another 30 laps before a designated caution. And Carrot Rainey says, blame it on the brakes. Yeah. We'll see if it's just the outside that's not firing off very well here, or if it's everybody. Pat back to the gas, and yeah, you could see Lehman. Woo. I mean, that thing was all pointed forward.
Rob Haynes going to look underneath Lehman now. Try and shuffle him outside the top 3.
Yeah, Smith will retake second with ease as Haynes underneath Lehman. Oh, they're crashing behind. And that is quite the parking lot there. Willie Evernham. I see Rod Mitten again. That's Chris Voiles, Mike Milfelt, Brandon Gruber, Bill Paradise, the People's Champ.
Rod Mitten.
Yeah.
Just getting back going.
That's, I mean, it's a race of attrition. Anybody can have a shot to win this race. You just got to survive. And so far, survival has not been easy to come by for the folks in the mid-pack. Let's see if we can find where this one's going to start. They are 3 wide. That's Mitten, who escapes the middle there. He's on the outside of Wally Turheimer, and oh, it starts in front of them. Mike Milfelt is the one that goes around. So we'll try again. So here's Milfelt. That's Montemalt to his inside ahead of him. That's Jack Watts, Brad Slagle. Oh, Milfelt is going to clip the water barrels there, the sand barrels.
Ooh.
Hopefully that is not terminal engine damage. It certainly could have been. But it's just a glancing blow, and he does, in fact, tow back to the pits. Let's see that one more time. Watch behind them, Willie Evernham. See it develop ahead. I mean, that was, you can see it there. That was a pretty hard shot. Oh, gosh, people blinking, net coating all over the place. That was an absolute parking lot there in turn number 3. One more time. Riding on board with the 155 who may have an early night. Just that little bit out of shape. Oof. And the silence afterwards, that's never good.
Been there, done that. Never what you want.
No. So Evernham and Matt Montembault on and off pit road. I think Montembault's going to be at least a lap down, if I'm not mistaken. Bill Paradise now towards the back of this pack as well. Poor Rod Mitten is 2 for 3 now. As we'll see if anybody can conquer this outside line, not to take the lead, of course, but just to hang on. Patton well in control of this one as we're back underway. That was probably the best restart we've seen, as Lehman going to get a shot from Rob Haynes, who wants to get in line as quickly as possible.
Stack up further back. Bumgardner's around and into the inside wall.
Oh, Bumgardner backing out onto the track may trigger the caution. I don't think it will. We're going to stay green.
Patton with a good lead. Haynes looking to the outside of Smith.
Good move for Lehman there to fend off Smith as Haynes now under fire from Dakota Floyd. They're side by side behind him. It's Schulte and Kirk going at it. Oh, Kirk up into the wall. Riley Tilton quick on the brakes, and now will dart to the inside. As there's Billy Baumgartner limping this truck around. Tilton, I don't think, is aware that that is so slower traffic, and they are all over the place around this 5 truck. Jordan Neese going to be the big benefactor here. He'll pick off at least 2 spots, move himself up to 8th. Tilton going to sail it around the outside. And that was a good move there by Tilton.
We were at least 4 wide. Oh!
Nice up the track, moves Tilton out of the way. Here's Hamby, a 2-for-1 special. No!
There they go!
Loose and around goes the 70. It went from the 2-for-1 to the 8 tires are better than 4. And we'll have to watch the hands here. But we're already talking about how loose these trucks are. A shot from Hamby into the left rear quarter panel, no matter how light it was, could very easily set that in motion. I don't think that's going to help Johnny Hamby's state whatsoever. So there you see the contact. Nice overshoots it into 3. Oh, net code contact. And that just sets the wheel spin in motion. And down the track, Nice goes into Johnny Hamby. I mean, they had a foot between them. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, once that wheel spin starts, especially on a short track, it's so difficult to get it tamed back down and roped back in.
So that's caution number 4. Again, we averaged 16 here, so this is light work so far. We did have 12 back in November. That's the fewest that we've had. Most was 19. And if you're curious, the channel record is 26 in the Venom Truck Series at Thompson. And care to comment on that one? Yeah.
Yeah. My power actually went out during that race, and I was laps down and ended up having enough cautions that I made up 7 laps as the lucky dog. So, if that says anything about the caution numbers there.
Yeah, it does. It says enough.
But definitely shakes things up. You know, running 10, 15 laps on a tire and then having a caution and letting the tire cool back off. Sometimes these tires don't fire up the same every time, and the truck can handle completely different. So definitely always curious to see who is the benefactor when it comes to being able to keep the tires warm under caution.
See some wiggling there from Patton. Exactly to your point. Make sure they're clean, making sure they are a little hot and ready to go. See how well James Lehman will fare on the outside. Good gamesmanship there from the 46.
Looks like Lehman will get clear of Heath Smith.
That was easily his best restart from the outside as Floyd with a little contact there from Smith. Still going at it here for third. Smith a little hot there. Tilton a little hot into the door of Will Kirk as well.
Ooh, it looked like Floyd got into the wall a little bit going into the corner.
That will be
just slow him up.
Just enough for Heath Smith to get through. Now here is Andrew Schulte for the first time in 2025, challenging for a spot inside the top 5. And Schulte is up to P4. Oh, caution is out. Problems towards the back. George Hendricks around. Johnny Hamby involved in this one as well. Oof. This 70 truck is not having a good night. He may have already disconnected from the session here. Let's see if we can pinpoint where this one is going to start. First name I see is George Hendricks. Oh, Hamby loses the rear of the truck, piles into this 34. So we'll back it up and watch from Johnny Hamby's point of view here. just continue to pile in. We'll go for our chase with Johnny Hamby, see if we can see if it was just getting a little too hot in there, and indeed it was. Well, I think Willie Evernham has been in all of them tonight as well. Well, that's caution number 5. Again, that's not much yet. We're guaranteed another one here in about 10 laps.
Starting to stack, though.
I mean, this is just so... I don't think people realize this is our highest strength of field league that we have on the channel. I mean, these Max V drivers, on top of putting on an incredible show, I mean, this is a top-to-bottom stacked roster. And it just goes to show how just unkind this is. Trucks at Martinsville, no matter if it's an amateur league or I mean, this is, I guess, an advanced enthusiast league. It's not like a pro league, but, I mean, it's hard. It's almost impossible, seemingly. Nobody's ever had a clean race here on the channel before. It's an impossible task.
Yeah, it's just too small when you get this many trucks on it. This many drivers eager to move forward.
I mean, this is almost a real-life full field of trucks, or it was to start the night anyway. I think we're down to 28 now out of the 33 that we started with. Maybe a couple other drivers are going to rejoin with some damage repair, but certainly a few of them are done for the evening. But none of this has been bothering Scott Patton so far. He's led every lap. And the lineup in control once again, eyeing a stage victory here. If he were able to do it, we would keep our unique stage winner streak alive. As well, maybe at the end of the night, our unique race winner streak alive too. Try and make it 5 for 5 in both departments. 8 laps to go in the stage.
Schultz gonna push Lehman on that start. He did not want to wait around.
And Smith is going to get through. Maybe not quite clear yet. Lehman hanging around the outside. Schulte able to get down. Oh, caution is back out as more problems towards the back. There's Trent Drum stopped on the back straightaway. And this should set us up for just a couple lap shootout here for a stage victory. Although nothing is looked in doubt yet for Scott Patton. Let's take a look here. Here's the 14 up front. The 17 of Mark Jackson is the truck that's behind them. Oh, man, Jackson almost got flipped upside down there. That was Jordan Neese that hit that 17 truck quite hard. But that was just a little bitty inconspicuous contact there. Gets Drum out of shape, gets Jackson checked up, and Neese really with nowhere to go. But I'm sure he'll be into the pits with a lot of damage here.
Almost looks like another netcode incident for the initial contact.
I mean, it was just teeny tiny for the disastrous results of it. So Drum will get back out on track. These are the drivers that are in the pits currently. Michael Vann, Mike Milfelt, Chris Voiles, Johnny Hamby, Willie Evernham, Matt Montalbot, Rod Mitten, Billy Bumgardner, Matt Rodolasso, although he is moving. Jordan Neese is moving. Evernham is back out on the track now as well. I think out of those, Milfelt and Van, the two Michaels, are definitely out. Chris Voiles is still getting worked on. He's still in the session. Johnny Hamby's still showing in the session, but I think he is definitely not in this race anymore.
Yeah, I think he has left. George Hendricks is still getting his fix. George Hendricks is going to pull off from his pit stall now.
It's honestly one of the tougher tasks here is actually being able to get anything accomplished while you're under caution here at Martinsville, because the amount of time that you're on pit road traversing it versus actually stopped in your stall before you have to go to keep yourself on the lead lap, it's very minimal for the amount of damage that you're going to rack up through the race.
Yeah, it's about like a one pit road Bristol.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, lap 45 on the board. So just a handful to the stage. Smith, a decent start there on the outside, but Lehman has still got a little daylight here underneath. And they'll go at it for second. Patton check it out up front. Tilton way down low from the top down to the bottom into the hole. Still continue to battle it out for second and for fourth side by side.
Kirk and Maul gonna now straighten
Whoa,
out.
Slagle! Big shots for him and for Ty Young. And that is how we're going to bring it to the stage end. Scott Patton, assuming he doesn't pit here, will take his first stage victory of the season as we are under caution for the 7th time. Well, I think the good news for him is everybody's going to pit. Either that or they've already just declared the stage anyway, so it's not going to matter. So a handful coming in, a handful staying out, favoring the track position. Heath Smith stays out. As we'll go ahead and take a look at what just happened. Riding with Heath Smith there, but that's not going to do us any good. And everybody's moving every which way. It's already in progress. We'll back it up. These drivers are side by side. This is just outside of the top 10. That's Jack Watts there to the inside in the 77, but I think this is just going to be, Slagle, a slight quarter lane movement down the track right into the arc that Ty Young was taking. And those are two of the harder shots that we've seen into the wall here tonight. They do get harder than that, but that's going to set you back a little bit. Riding on the tide right here with Ty Young. I mean, man, that's all it takes. So, new leader for the first time tonight is Heath Smith. The top 10 on track are out. Some of them have been down pit road already through some misfortune. But those top 10 are Heath Smith, Andrew Schulte, Dakota Floyd, Riley Tilton, Greg Maul. That's the top 5. P6 for Charlie Widener. Matt Montebault has been on pit road a lot thus far. Matt Rodolasso likewise. Mark Jackson was nearly upside down. He's now in 9th. And Rod Mitten rounds out the top 10, and there's nobody who's quite been through the ringer like him here tonight. So,
Yeah, so it looks like the top 10 are your drivers who have not pit. Scott Patton will round out in 11th with James Lehman to his outside.
So this will be Patton's first look at some dirty air here this evening after leading the first 47 laps of the night. Smith in control, Schulte on the outside, Floyd and Tilton on row number 2. Back at her way. Good start for Smith. Little argy-bargy behind them. Schulte and Floyd crossing paths for the first time here at the front of the field.
Schulte really making ground stick there on the outside. He has the room to come down, but it looks like he prefers the outside.
Boy, Andrew Schulte has not missed a beat. Right back into his groove here in Max V. If you had to press me, I'd say he's got 5 victories plus a championship. As we're under caution, Mark Jackson, who just restarted in the top 10, is hooked in this wall on the outside. and he is going to have to tow back to the pits. I'm assuming something is broken on the front end of this car. Ooh, look at that impact. You can see why. You'll see him get on the brakes, and the rear end of the truck just steps out on him. Ouch. And that is, that's going to cost a lot of time for the driver that is just above the cut line as they run in the top 12 in the standings. And you see that truck and hauler box disappear, and that means that the 17 is done for the evening.
Yeah, that was definitely the hardest hit of the night by far.
And, I mean, we've been talking about a lack of grip here tonight, literally at every turn. But, I mean, that was case in point right there. That was just, it got out from underneath of him. You try and correct it any way you can, and all of a sudden it's hooked back up, and that's not what you want.
Definitely not what you want. The walls are not very far away on short track.
No. So nobody from that top 10 coming down pit road here under this caution. A few other drivers still getting some damage fixed. There you see the lucky dog. I believe that's Ryan McRoberts, and it is. Great looking paint scheme there. I think that's still the Rusty Wrench Motorsports gang, led by Brad Slagle, doing those paints. Looks great, whoever it is. Now, I mean, you've been in a few of these races, Venom and elsewhere. Truck 200 has fallen victim to this a couple of different times, particularly at North Wilkesboro. But the Caution Fest races, I mean, whether you've been in them or whether you haven't, what's your mentality at this point? 8 cautions in, not even close to the halfway mark of the race.
Honestly, it really depends on your track position and how fast you feel. Obviously, you want to stay out of trouble as much as you can, but sometimes it just comes down to really tiptoeing around and being cautious, even if there isn't an incident. But it's so difficult to avoid, especially a track like Martinsville, where the walls are so close together, and I mean you can barely fit 2 trucks racing hard, nonetheless 3 or 4 piling in.
Well, a lot of these cautions have been a result of poor handling up to this point, but as they continue to pile up here, it's going to start to be born out of frustration sooner rather than later. Back it her way. Schulte and Floyd for P2. Schulte around the outside, going to get clear on the 57. Put Floyd back in that familiar P3. Scott Patton, meanwhile, up to 7th, challenging around the outside of the 21 of Montalbot for that 7th position.
Yeah, I think that's new tires speaking volume.
Absolutely. So that
being said,
I thought we were in trouble there as Mitten nearly got into the back of Montalbot. He's got Will Kirk now to his outside. Kirk going to try and take this 9th position away.
He's going to get stuck up top. He may have damage. He's very slow around the top.
James Lehman also on fresh tires, trying to work his way through like Scott Patton, but Patton has got this track figured out. Not a shock. There's Patton on charge, and Charlie, who is up 12 spots from where he started. Patton, the pole sitter, now back to 6th, though.
Yeah, making good ground on fresh tires is fairly difficult on such a tight track. You really have to pick and choose which line you want to attack and where you need to defend from the guy looking to attack you. He's working on Greg Mall, going to go underneath him. Looks like Mall's just going to hand it to him to not lose too much time. He has a good gap over Charlie Widener.
Well, it's like the saying in golf, let the club do the work for you. You're on fresh tires, no need to force the issue. He's making good ground here, and now he's up to 5th. after restarting in 11 a couple of cautions ago. Here's some sliding, a little skidding. Caution is out, and it's Will Kirk. Kirk hung up there with Matt Rodolasso, and Kirk was running in the 9th position at the time. Oh man, that was a hard shot right to the end of the pit wall, and that will do some big time damage if he wasn't already hurt. Caution number 9. Here's Rodolasso. So Kirk is going to spin ahead, and that is just a solo spin for the 9 truck. Tries to get it down out of the way, and I mean, Matt has nowhere to go, and both of those trucks are going to have some heavy, heavy damage. Let's watch this again from Kirk's point of view. And again, you're just going to see the back end of this truck step out. It's tail as old as time at this point.
Yeah, when it comes to in-car adjustments on the brake bias, you can only move 3% forward or backwards from what your setup is when you start the race. So as these tires wear and these trucks get loose, you can only move your brakes so far to the front, and sometimes it's just not enough, and you really have to feather it to not get them broken loose. It's really a fine knife's edge on what you can and can't push down into the corner.
Well, again, thanks for joining us, everybody. Working 9 cautions thus far, just 67 laps in to the race in Martinsville here tonight. If you haven't dropped us a chat already, let us know who you're rooting for. Something tells me we'll have plenty of time to talk about the folks that you want to hear about here under the cautions this evening. So that was a step in the right direction. That was a little bit longer of a run, 6 or 7 laps. Who's to say that we can't keep it trending that way? I know one driver that would love that, and that would be Scott Patton, who will get the start on the inside of row number 3 here. Schulte, Smith, Tilton, and Floyd, the top 4.
Like you had mentioned earlier, Patton is up into 5th, and those fresh tires and being on the bottom should give him the advantage on this restart.
See how quickly he is able to get himself to the front of this field, or if maybe Schulte or Smith or anybody else have what it takes to stop this 46 truck here this evening. Back it away, lap 69. It's the funny lap. That was the best restart we've seen from the outside. Schulte is going to have an opportunity to get after it for the lead here.
Patton dives it in hard underneath Tilton.
Yeah, I think the one driver that Patton does not want to see at the front of this field, at the pointy end, as our buddy Leo Smith would say, is that 81 of Andrew Schulte.
Patton gets a little bump from Tilton.
And Tilton really going to be the one that pays for that as he falls off a couple truck lengths there, stacks him up behind him. Oh, problems once again under caution. There's Slagle. Oh, boy, George Hendricks, Jordan Neese. All 3 of those drivers are having a rough go here this evening. Lap 71 is on the board. And caution number 10.
Unfortunate for Hendricks, he had just finished repairing his damage.
Guess what, buddy? You're going right back. Oh, that's too bad.
Gonna get real familiar with that pit crew.
It's Hendricks just snapping loose, and boy, Slagle, I mean, absolutely pounds him right in the driver's door. Jordan Neese actually didn't hit anything, it doesn't look like. Unless he sent Brad Slagle into the 34 truck. Let's take a look. I don't think Brad had any idea with how narrow of an escape that was for Willie Evernham in front of him. I don't think Brad had any clue that that 34 truck was coming down the track.
No, definitely not. These rear bumpers on these trucks, when you're up close, they're a lot wider than they look from an outside angle.
That's a jump scare right there. I mean, truly, He could not see that 34 truck at all. You wonder why he was carrying so much speed in there? It's because he was headed for turn 1. He wasn't headed for George Hendricks. Youch. So Kirk, Slagle, Nice, Evernham, and Rodolasso all still getting damage fixed. They're all now off pit road, trying to stay on the lead lap or stay on their lap.
Definitely leaning the way of having enough cautions to have plenty of chances to get damage repaired and still stay on the lead lap.
Did actually just have a problem with Jordan Nice there. Sure, this is just going to be a fresh tire spin. Oh, that was almost like he downshifted. Just kicked the rear end of the truck out from under him. We're doubled up once again. And now Patton going to be on the outside of Dakota Floyd here. On fresher tires, but a few heat cycles now for this 46 truck. I don't know if the advantage will be quite as much. The advantage may very well be in the driver's seat there. We'll see what he can do from the outside of row 2. We'll see if Schulte has anything from the outside of the front row. Smith, a good launch. Not, just barely clear. Schulte now going to have to contend with Dakota Floyd. And Schulte's clear. Patton hanging tough here. Fighting for third.
A little further back, James Lehman and Rob Haynes both on fresher tires, making some progress.
Leaving around the outside of Charge and Charlie. Matt Sisler into the picture for the first time here tonight in the Uno. Number 93, podium finisher last week. Trying to take a step to the inside, but he won't get the chances. We're under caution here. Chris Sargent is parked sideways. And there's caution number 11. Take a quick gander here. That's Nice to the outside. Oh, boy. And he gets tagged from behind. I'm not even sure who that was. It might have been Zachary Groover, and it was. I don't think Zachary was quite expecting the 66 to be going the rate that he was there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he was slowing down to try and cover off underneath of Nice.
I clicked on the wrong Groover. Did you still get the picture there? We'll give some love to Heath Smith, always rocking the Turn 200 logos on the truck somewhere. It's on the hood here for the gray Oregon livery. Smith got a podium finish alongside you Monday night in Truck 200 at Talladega. Smith, a winner on the channel at Chicagoland, where Truck 200 is going to wrap up Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I know you'll be preparing for the Venom Truck Series dirt race at Bristol Dirt, but you got to be right in the thick of the Max V plot to take over Talladega on Monday nights, and it's got to be fun to run against those guys no matter what track.
Oh yeah, I feel like Super Speedway is just about the only track that I can really hang with some of these guys, as they're a little bit out of my skill level when it comes to the intermediates, where there's a lot more tire wear strategy involved, but always fun to race with them. They're very fast. and very, for the most part, very clean racers to be on track with.
All that to say, Heath Smith still hoping to bag a Truck 200 victory by the time it is done forever Monday. And I'm sure he will not be the only one. Smith would love a victory here tonight as well, leading lap 82 on the board. Schulte clear to move down. Stays up a half lane though. Looking for some kind of momentum, and he's so loose! He's going to save it, but he'll drop like a rock through the running order here. All the way back to P6, and now Matt Montefiore is around.
Rob Haynes hangs on to it, but that will draw the caution.
Oh, Matt Montefiore from 7th. Great job to not make that any worse than it could have been. Somebody just blew up. Maybe it was on pit road. Either way. Here you see Schulte, tracking it all the way down to the inside wall. And then Montefiore, I'm assuming, trying to just speed up a little bit to make sure that he was going to get around Andrew Schulte there, and that little bit may have caused the rear end of this truck to get out from underneath of him. I mean, you talked about the razor's edge. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, he had been involved in at least one other incident earlier on in the night.
We're going to go back and watch this step out from underneath Schulte and watch the hands here. Look how much wheel he's taking in. And just clips the curb there on the inside. That's what sets that in motion. But I mean, he's a champ in this league for a reason. That was a hell of a save. And almost as if he's got a force field around him. Around goes the 21. So Schulte then elects to come in. So he'll restart in 20th. Heath Smith also came in under this caution, so he gives up the lead. So the race leader now is Dakota Floyd for the first time tonight.
Definitely the position that Floyd wants to see. That being said, will have to pit at some point for fuel, as you cannot make it all the way through. Same for Greg Mall. Greg Mall also yet to pit.
Floyd led some laps at Daytona, led one lap through some pit strategy last week at Homestead as well. But coming in to tonight with a streak of 2 third-place finishes. He's well in contention, maybe even for a regular season championship at this point. I mean, he has been very, very good thus far in his first 4 races here in Max V.
Yeah, consistency is always important when it comes to points, without a doubt.
In control of a restart for the first time. Greg Mall spinning the tires to his outside. Row 2 is Patton and Lehman. Patton not messing around, going straight for it here. He'll take second. Here's Matt Sisler now to the inside of Lehman. The battle that we got last week for the win at Homestead. Now the battle for 4th here at Martinsville. Sisler up 20 positions from where he took the green flag.
Yeah, Sisler making... Oh, Tilton into the wall!
Oh, Riley Tilton from inside the top 10. And there's Andrew Schulte. Charlie Widener as well. And we're back at our caution here for the 13th time with 100 to go. And that all starts, to your point. Couldn't quite click on it quick enough before he started to drop through the running order there, but Riley Tilton with an issue. There's Brandon Groover to his inside, but how's it going to kick off? Tilting down the track. Yeah, Groover up the track. I mean, that truck nearly came to a dead stop. And everybody just a glancing blow off the side of that 58. It was a great save for Andrew Schulte last time. This time, not so much.
Yeah, Schulte had a little help from Rob Haynes in the stack up. Haynes just with nowhere to go.
We'll take far chase. Yeah, it's one thing to have an opportunity to save and swing and a miss, but he didn't have a chance there. Pulls a Kyle Busch and starts driving it backwards. That's the penalty you pay sometimes, giving up the track position here at Martinsville. I mean, first time back into the thick of it all night, and big time damage. And that is not thinking outside the bun, unfortunately. Riley Tilton tried to beat the pace truck off pit road. Looks like he didn't quite make it. He'll drop to the tail and be one lap down. Now inside of 100 to go. I mean, at this rate, we're going to well eclipse the caution record for Max V, which is 19. Unless... Never say never.
Never say never. The 94 of Ty Young is going to restart in sixth position. Some damage on that truck, but still making it work as this is short track racing.
Pace truck missed the pit road entrance there. We must have had some kind of a delay there on the caution. Lights go out this time, though. Yeah, Ty, one of a few drivers that has been pretty banged up here this race. I thought Will Kirk might be out of it, and he's back here in, I think he'll be 10th on this restart, or 8th?
Looks like it'd be 8th. Yeah.
Brad Slagle, Jordan Neese. I mean, these guys have gotten the crap beat out of them already. Right
Wally Kerheimer up from 24th to 9th.
Good run for Wally. See if the 75 can keep it up or keep himself out of trouble here. Back it away. Floyd with a good jump. Patton working around the outside, trying to take over second from Greg Mall, but Mall's going to take it back.
Patton not giving up that outside line, though. But he's going to dive down now. Oh, Slagle around.
Oh,
further back.
0.52, Slagle. Stopping out of turn number 4. And we're back under caution here for the 14th time. Oh, more problems, and it's Wally Turheimer under caution. Oh, that was a jinx. What is going on? All right, let's see. Oh, this is the wrong incident. And not even the right person. Let's try again. Slagle. Oh, and that is... I think that was Turheimer.
Yeah.
Got jumped from behind up onto the curb into Slagle. I mean, that was pretty innocuous. Oh, and then Turheimer, that's already in motion there. We'll back it up. So you saw the contact between Neese and Turheimer already. And at this point, we're under the caution. Neese makes the contact with the 75, and Wally just comes back down the track, not quite under control of the truck. smushes the 12 into the wall. Well, that's poor Wally.
First commentator jinx.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm sure Wally's really happy to hear that. They
Sorry,
always
Wally.
are. I know Wally's folks like to watch, so maybe they'll see this. Hello. And I'm sorry.
Greatest apologies. I have been on the receiving end of commentator curse on multiple occasions.
Do tell.
Both from you and Matt and in real life. So,
See, it's one thing to do it on iRacing, but if I do it in
Yeah.
real life, then we,
a little
not
more
go back into the
expensive.
pits at the end of the night. Kind of
Yeah.
hide my face. Hope they forget about it by the next week. Is that a slippery when wet reference? Is it raining in Martinsville?
May as well be, as free as some of the trucks have gotten.
Yeah.
Going to be putting lap 102 on the board. Floyd and Maul is your front row, both of which have yet to pit.
We saw Jan Van Leer do it. Who's to say we can't go the distance without a pit stop? It's impossible, but never say never, I guess. Well, Maul going to be wanting this one back as Patton is in a prime position here to take second away. He's got it at the line. Can he get clear? Can Lehman get clear around the outside of Sisler? Patton up to second. Maul in third. This is the battle for fourth. As now caution again, and it's Wally Terheimer again. Man. There's Wally up the track and then down into Andrew Schulte, who didn't really have anywhere to go. Yeah. I was going to say, I think this race is probably a shot to the heart. Martinsville gives hot dogs a bad name. At least on iRacing. You know, if this were the days of NASCAR Racing 2003 and the Papyrus game, this is where if you were the league admin, you would slip everybody a modified track file, turn the grip up a little bit, and maybe restart this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was never a part of NASCAR Racing 2003, as that game released the year I was born.
Yeah, it was...
Wasn't quite behind the wheel yet. Wasn't long, but wasn't quite yet.
Well, it's impressive that it's that old. What, 22 years old now? I guess 23 technically. And
Yep.
It's still got a massively active modding community, still releasing cars and tracks and paint schemes. And, it's still pretty fun if you know kind of what you're doing to plug things in and poke around with it. It's a blast. There's so much good stuff there.
Yep. Call it the racing drivers Minecraft.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly. All the tracks that they'll never put on iRacing, you can plug them into NR 2003 and have probably 85 to 90% of the fun.
Yeah. Pace truck is in.
wonder how much fun Dakota Floyd is having now that he has Scott Patton, who's outside. Coming to lap 108.
Probably at least some sweaty palms.
Definitely.
Get a little squirrely on the getaway. It's going to allow Patton to stay pretty close with him. Greg Mall pulls underneath of Patton.
This is definitely what Floyd wants to see. Mall fighting back, trying to take second away once again. Oh, is there a little bit out of shape? And now the caution is out again. It's Chris Sargent, and he's wadded up with Charlie Widener here in turn number 4. There's caution 16.
Man, Chris Sargent has just not had the luck tonight.
No, he has not. Let's see, that's Montemalt there to the outside. Oh, and he just makes a little bitty move down. Gets the 66 out of shape. Oh, and Widener. Wow. That was impressive to not make any contact there.
Some quick parallel parking.
I believe the saying is, I finna whip that hoe. And he did.
He definitely did. Dakota Floyd will take it to the pits to get some tires and some fuel. So if I am not mistaken, that will make Greg Mall the only truck yet to pit.
I believe you are correct. Yep, I am showing a 0 for him. Everybody else, save for technically Johnny Hamby, who's out of the race, has made at least one pit stop. Driver with the most trips down pit road, I'll give you a guess. I don't know if you'd get it right, though. I wouldn't have got it right. It's Willie Evernham. He has been down pit road 13 times.
Woo. Man. It's down almost every caution.
Pretty much.
He's sitting in 15th.
I mean, truly, and I brought it up off air to start the night as well. I mean, you just have to survive this race, and honestly, just the way the carousel works, if you're coming around at the right time, you may still get a good finish as long as you're on the track by the end of the night.
Yeah, a track like Martinsville, it's almost got the same race principles as a super speedway, and you can almost pit with any caution, and you'll still be with the pack, and still pretty much have just as good of a shot as anybody at it if you can keep the truck clean. Patton will lead us off. Greg Mall with a little bit of a squirrely start. He's going to look to the inside fairly quickly.
A shot there from Nice up to the 50 of James Lehman. Look at Will Kirk now up to 4th. Patton back in control of this field. Rob Haynes up out of the groove, slips back to 8th. Side by side behind them, it's Brandon Groover and Rod Mitten.
Brandon Groover up 20 positions.
A good run so far for the 41. That was Ty Young awfully out of shape. Oh, now Will Kirk is loose, and he's going to bring it around, and the caution is out. Man, all by himself again.
Man, unfortunate. He was running pretty well.
I mean, it just gets out from under him. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what you do if you can't make it stick 2 laps into a run. And that's not for Will Kirk. That's for everybody. Everybody's having this problem.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm wondering if the the track temp is too cold and there's some ice forming or something.
Yeah. We started the night at 80 degrees, and it's only gone down 1 degree. So 79, ambient temp of 75. Got at the race info, the wind is only blowing 4 miles an hour, so that's not anything too crazy.
Looks like Riley Tilton was the lucky dog, so he will get back onto the lead lap with no right front fender.
Like I said, hey, that may be the winning move. Keep that tire cool.
Oh, yeah. Sisler also no right front fender, so maybe that's going to be the new trend.
A little modified action.
Can't say I haven't seen my days in a factory stock with no fenders. Looks like Andrew Schulte will be back up inside the top 10.
How about that?
So definitely a lot of conveyor belt movements going on. Drivers going from front to back, back to front.
It really is just the teacup ride here. Everybody's going to get a spin.
Yep.
As long as you got your lap belt on, you don't get flung out of the ride, you'll get a crack at it. Back it away. We'll try the vertical ticker and see if that's maybe the curse here. Jordan Neese, he's had a very up and down night. He's inside the top 5. Heath Smith back into the top 5. As Maul trying to fend off this 12 truck here for 3rd. Now Neese going to be under fire from Smith for 4th. And Smith is clear up. Neese will cross him up. But Heath has it. Nicely done. Rob Haynes is next up to try and challenge the 12. Oh, caution is out again, and I think it's Will Kirk who is already towed back to the pits. And they're still wrecking under the caution here. That was Ty Young that just went around. Oh, Brad Slagle, right into Will Kirk's lap. I mean, he couldn't have done anything. Yeah, that truck is blown up.
Ooh.
Youch.
Yeah, Will Kirk definitely had some steering damage on that one. Not expecting the truck not to turn.
So that's the end of the night for him. Some drivers down pit road, including for the first time tonight, Greg Maul. But more importantly, Scott Patton also down pit road. Andrew Schulte is in. Jordan Neese. Riley Tilton, Zachary Groover, Matthew Montalbot. We're in the closing stage here as Maul hits a little Tokyo drift out of the box. But the race off goes to Scott Patton. I mean, this late in the going, you probably want fresher tires, but do you want to be dropped in the middle of the hornet's nest here?
Yeah, honestly, I think if it were me and I was out front, I would stay out as long as I could. Fresh tires are definitely always nice, but as many cautions as we've seen so far, not sure how much of a difference it'll make for him coming through the field with about 65 laps left.
So new leader, last week's winner, James Lehman. Heath Smith here in second. A little bit of damage on the front end of this truck. Rob Haynes is in third. Talk about damage. Rod Mitten up here in P4. Billy Bumgardner, plenty of damage. Up here in the top 5. Matt Sisler now in 6th. Dakota Floyd did not share the Gorilla Glue before this race. He'll start in 7th. Bill Paradise, Ryan McRoberts, Ty Young, the top 10.
I have a feeling Gorilla Glue sales may go up after tonight.
I think so. Yeah, they used to pour Coca-Cola in the pit stalls. I think maybe they ought to do that on the track.
Bit spaced out on this restart. Good start from the inside line.
Yeah, good jump from Lehman. Smith
Ooh,
immediately.
Bill Paradise high.
Smith going to hang on to second. Haynes, Mitten, Bumgarner, and now Willie Evernham side by side. Bumgarner's starting to go backwards as he's in the middle of 3 wide. There's problems further back. It's Slagle, it's Rodolasso, Trent Drum in the mix there as well. And that is a record-tying 19th caution. We still got a lot of laps to go. Where does this one go wrong? See Paradise out of the groove in front of them. Netcode is what does Trent Drum in there, but we're getting to the point here where people are starting to take more than they give. Slagle on the bottom of 3 wide. Nice right there in the middle. Rodolasso on the outside wall. And that was a big crunch.
Yeah, Rodolasso and Sisler been in it with each other before previously in this race, so definitely not what they want to see, looking head-on at each other.
Over 62 laps from greener pastures, and I will be biased on that one as Max V will head to Chicagoland next week. And that should be a very fun race. Looking forward to that one. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time as always. So 2 Chicagoland races for the price of 1, as that's where Truck 200 will wrap up next Monday night as well at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Venom Truck Series will be at the Bristol Dirt Race, which is long overdue. We haven't run that since Season 5, and it's Season 9 now. So excited to get back down to the dirt next Tuesday. Have you ripped any laps yet on the... I know they just posted the setup, yesterday, I think. Have you given it a spin yet?
I have. I was actually given the opportunity to help with that setup.
Nice.
Andy took some advice that I had given. The original iRacing setup that they pulled will overheat and blow up after 32 laps.
I believe it.
So I highly recommended that there was a change made, and he went in and made another setup for us to run, and I've probably put in a few too many laps already on it. But, can't go wrong with a dirt race, so looking forward to it.
Well, you have some stiff competition in the form of Matt Williamson, who will be making his Venom Truck Series debut next Tuesday. That'll be very exciting. But
very exciting.
19th restart of the race. James Lehman is in control, and Smith is in the wall.
Ooh, they're going to stack up.
Rod Mitten is up to 3rd now. Smith back to 4th. Willie Evernham riding in P5. Bumgarner and Floyd side by side. Now Smith going to try and start to recoup the lost spots.
Darheimer.
Oh, Wally.
And Maul.
Oh, Greg Maul. Big shot for the 7. We're still green. Somehow. They don't toss admin cautions, so that's just going to stand. That is ridiculous. Of all the things that shouldn't have been a caution tonight, that definitely should have been.
Yeah, he was getting bounced around like a pinball.
I mean, he was literally sideways in the middle of the track. I don't know what more you need. But we're still underway here. Side by side, Young and Floyd. Here's Patton sticking a nose underneath. 3 wide temporarily. Patton going to surge ahead. And again, he just came down pit road as Sisler nearly buries it into the back of the 46 truck. Floyd and Mitten side by side in front of them. Now the caution is out. It's Chris Sargent.
Man, Chris Sargent.
Oh, buddy. That's the record-breaking caution. He had the first one of the night, the 20th of the night, and at least one in the middle there, too. Oh, Garrett Rainey says we shouldn't be on the dirt this season either. Do you believe him? Can you believe him?
I have to disagree.
Yeah.
He's just saying that because they have a dirt racer in Venom now.
Awful nice of you to say that about Matt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, super excited for the true dirt racer to come show us what he's made of.
Well, here comes James Lehman from the lead. Heath Smith follows him down, Willie Evernham. So 3 of the top 5 down this time.
Yeah, I definitely think that the call that Scott Patton had made earlier for his second set of tires was a pretty good call. He's managed to come back through pretty much unscathed. A few sketchy moments. Maybe a new pair of pants needed, but he's up to 4th now, so it's definitely paid off for him. So we'll see if it's not quite too late for these other few that have pitted.
It's not quite what I was looking for. We'll see if this is maybe what I was looking for. And don't think that is either. Okay. I will find it. This is Greg Mull on the outside. Just going to follow him here. Should happen into turn number 1. Oh, that's Wally Turheimer. I mean, Mull moves up the track thinking that he's going to get clear in time on Turheimer. And just how on earth is this not a caution? That's blows my mind.
Yeah, he was definitely at a dead stop.
Reckon 8 ways from Sunday between where he made contact and where he came to rest. So he comes back down pit road under this caution. Now he's not on the lead lap anymore. And it's Rob Haynes in control of the field for the first time this evening. Floyd is back on the front row. Mitten, after a rough opening stretch to this race, he's in contention here. Floyd does not get going. Patton is going to take a dive to the inside. 57 might lose at least 1, maybe 2 here in the next couple laps. Jordan Neese lurking once again.
Lloyd is surging back as now Sisler's in the mix.
Matt Sisler into the top 5. A little contact maybe there with the 94. Neese now going to go back to the outside. As how about this? Dakota Floyd around the outside from 4th to 1st. I would not have thought it possible. And look at this. Now Patton underneath Haynes. 199 starting to struggle here just a bit.
Yeah, definitely showing what the fresher tires are made of here. And how much of a difference it can make.
First side-by-side battle. That's Jordan Neese on the outside, Ty Young on the inside. It's for 6th, and Neese takes the spot away. Andrew Schulte hanging tough, riding in 8th. There's a little wheel spinning behind him, and now the caution is out, and it's Riley tilted into the outside wall. Nose first. That's caution 21. Into the outside wall, trying to arc into the corner in turn number 3, and that just gets the truck all out of shape.
Well, doesn't look like the no right front fender seems to be working out.
No, I don't think so. Well, we may be on pace for the channel record here. Much as I hate to say it. Rob Haynes will give up a spot in the top 5 now to head down pit road. And by the way, special stage Pro Truck Series tomorrow night from Brands Hatch Rallycross course. That'll be a blast. 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for that one. We've never had the Brands Hatch. What's funny is we've had Brands Hatch Indy on the channel twice now. And we'll have the Brands Hatch Rallycross course tomorrow. And we've never actually had Brands Hatch proper, which is a great classic road course there in the United Kingdom. So I think we've done that venue a disservice. We'll get it eventually, probably Daredevil season 14. It'll be on there.
Yeah, lots of great tracks that I would love to go to in different series. I'll be attending ASRL Road Course Series this summer.
Oh, yeah.
You're excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be starting up in April 27th. April 31st, maybe. I don't know. Whatever the last Wednesday in April is, that's when ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosports will be back here on Turn 200. And 13 races, and it's an extended sports car season. It's all GT3s this season. And yeah, that's a that's a schedule if I've ever seen it. I think the Atlanta infield road course with essentially with a jump.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one as a driver, that's for sure.
Well, that whole thing will be a blast. It always is. Let's see if we can bring him home here. 41 laps to go. Dakota Floyd has some fight. Patton, good restart.
Gonna take to the bottom.
Here's Mitten and Sisler side by side. Ooh, Mitten up the track just a bit.
Contact further back with Neese and Young.
He's making this outside, or rather Young making this outside work quite nicely. He'll slot in line here in front of the 12 truck. Now Schulte going to work to the outside of the 12.
James Lehman gonna follow on the fresh tires.
Much fresher tires for this 50. Hasn't had a chance to fire him up yet, but we'll look to do just that as the 12 and the 81 go side by side in front of him. Floyd leading, Patton reeling him in. We continue to watch this battle for 6th. The battle for the lead now inside of a truck length. We'll see if Patton can find a way to muscle himself underneath the 57, or if he can try and take the long way around. Lehman picks off Schultz. There's one around. It's Willie Evernham into the inside wall. We're back under caution.
Every caution that goes by is that much more nervous I would be getting if I was Dakota Floyd.
Yeah. Absolutely. Evernham, I think, was just inside or just outside of the top 10. And
Just outside.
That's just a solo spin. Now, Garrett in the chat is speaking my language. I don't know how we haven't had Alton Park in the Daredevil series yet. That'll be soon, I'm sure. But Alton Park was our first ever Thunderdome venue. Classic. In a broadcast that no longer exists, unfortunately. Man, it was a lot of fun. I would love that in with the no chicane layout of Alton Park. It would be a blast.
Yep.
There was Charging Charlie taking the wave around. Or the lucky dog, I guess, if you want to be technical.
Back to the lead lap.
It's Greg Mall back down pit road. Still getting service on this 7 truck.
James Lehman, after pitting a few cautions ago, is up to 7th.
Yeah, he made good work of Nice and Schulte there.
Into Young's bumper under caution.
Well, I mean, that's not even top 10 worst things that's happened this race.
From the looks of Young's, the rest of Young's bumper, and just straightened it out a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. And a little bit more than Tide to buff that one down at the end of the night, and he's not going to be the only one. Floyd, another good jump up front. Patton looking for this hole in second, and I think he'll get it.
Ooh.
Sisler's right there, though.
Really?
Now Sisler's slipping up there. It's Mitten down to the outside. They're doubled up behind the 93 and then 92.
Nice going to look to the inside.
Big dive to the inside there for Nice. 12 getting his elbows out here late in the running. Coming to 30 to go at the stripe this time. And here's Lehman on the freshies now. Looking for a spot in the top 5.
Yeah, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the night, Lehman's going to want to extend his points advantage as much as he can while Justin Michael is not racing.
Here's Patton right on the bumper of the 57 of Floyd. You can just see Lehman there in the back of the shot. If he could find his way up to 3rd, get a little daylight to the trucks behind him, he might have a crack at it. Especially if Floyd and Patton get to battle in here. Sisler in 3rd.
Oh, Young is loose.
Ty Young!
There goes Montenbolt.
Oh, Montenbolt piles in. Ryan McRoberts, Willie Evernham right into the door of his teammate. And there's crisscross it every which way here. Caution 23.
Looks like there was a simultaneous spin incident a little bit further back between Terheimer and Tilton.
Riley Tilton, yeah. We'll watch that one first. Yeah, that was Tilton up the track a little bit. Wally down the track a little bit. And then we'll go up to Ty Young here on the outside of Zachary Groover. Oh, and just turns in a little bit. Brandon Groover into Montenbolt, into Baumgartner. Jack Watts is there. Wally Evernham, or Willie Evernham. Goodness gracious. Everybody's been in so many crashes tonight, it's just a bit of a soup at this point in the old noggin. So Willie Evernham will add to the high pit count and come in for the 15th time.
Greg Mall's going to be the lucky dog, getting back onto the lead lap.
25 to go. You're in with a chance. Back in the lead lap. Never say never.
Never say never.
Especially Lehman coming up on the fresher tires here into the top 5. Patton, Floyd look primed for a great battle as well.
Yeah, I think Lehman restarting on bottom is going to try and make quick work here. That being said, I'm sure Floyd would love to wrap up his 2-podium streak with a win.
Yeah, why not?
Nothing wrong with that.
2/3 in a row. He did miss the race at Atlanta, but I mean, his worst finish this season was 12th at Daytona, a race where he got up front a lot. Just kind of got caught up in the melee there at the end of the race. But,
Yeah, he's
been balling out.
He's sitting 8th in points, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely looking for a good points finish, as well as a win.
To be 8th in points after 4 races, when really you've only started 3. That's mighty impressive. And now he's leading inside of 25 to go here in Martinsville. Gets a good jump on Patton. Patton down low. Slots in line in second. Sisler and Nice side by side. Lehman lurking here on fresher tires as Sisler sends it off into turn 3 underneath the 12. Tries to slide up and clear, but he's not. Ooh, a shot from Schulte up, and now problems further back. It's Willie Evernham nestled against the inside wall. Caution 24. And this poor fella is going to call it a night, I think. Yep, just a solo spin.
Just an unfortunate night. Just trying to limp it to the end. I've definitely been in that position before, and it's a little frustrating, to say the least.
Well, what's the good news, bad news if you're Dakota Floyd? To me, you'll have to deal with another restart. This truck doesn't like to restart here. Really doesn't like to do anything here. I think the good news is Lehman didn't gain any spots. Patton's still in second.
Yeah. I think the only way a restart is a good news is if you are the leader. Floyd obviously controlling the restart and when they fire. Just about the only guaranteed spot on the starts. However, Patton has been getting pretty consistently better at judging those restarts and being able to make a run on him.
You're also giving yourself less laps to have to play defense against the driver that absolutely dominated the early window of this race. Patton never got the lead taken away from him. He voluntarily gave it up to come down pit road after the stage break. And he has been hustling to try and get back up here ever since. Floyd will be coming to a restart with 17 to go. In control. Scott Patton will line up in second. Matt Sisseler in third. Jordan Neese in fourth. James Lehman again on fresher tires, but still back there in fifth. Rod Minton will be in sixth. Andrew Schulte in seventh. Heath Smith in eighth. Rob Haynes ninth. Zachary Groover in 10th. It'll actually be Brandon Groover in 10th.
That being said, it looks like Dakota Floyd is the only driver only making one pit stop in this race at the moment.
Back to green. Floyd waiting until they drop the flag. Patton a bit of the tire spin there, but Sisseler likewise. And Patton will be able to slot in to second.
3 wide, a little further back with Tilton.
Oh boy.
They're going to make it off stick.
Neese up the track and then down right onto the front bumper of the 81, and that was a hard shot for the 12. Back at her caution. Neese looked like he ran high, got up into the wall, and moved back down across the bumper of the 81 truck of Andrew Schulte, who couldn't really do anything. See it. Runs wide, and once you're up there, that truck is just not turning down. He actually doesn't hit the wall, but rear of the truck keeps driving him down the track, and nowhere for Andrew Schulte to go. Show you how this lands in the lap of the 81 truck here. Yeah, and pit him and move on. That's about all you can do if you're in that position.
Yeah, that's one of those incidents where it would have almost been better to get into the wall to let it straighten you out.
And I'm wondering, just out of curiosity, if it says in the session if there's a time limit and how close we may be to that. I can't check that from here, but if you could.
Looks like the time limit showing 2 hours and 55 minutes.
We're not going to hit that. We're only an hour and a half in here.
We definitely will not reach that.
I sure hope not.
I sure hope not.
Let's toss the red. I need a hot dog. Anybody else need a hot dog while I'm up there?
Still got your chicken cooking?
It smells delicious, and I can't have it for at least another half an hour, probably. Man. All right, drop in the chat what your favorite hot dog toppings are. You got a favorite?
I like chili dogs, hot dog, chili, cheese, and then some mayo on top.
On mayo? On a chili dog?
Yep. I'm a weird one.
I'll tell you the best crazy hot dog I ever had. It was at Watkins Glen when they were still, their cup races were still sponsored by Cheez-Its. They had a foot-long hot dog and a pretzel bun with really gooey macaroni and cheese with the elbows, and then they sprinkled some Cheez-Its on top of it, and it was delicious.
That is definitely a concoction.
It is definitely... did I say a pretzel bun as well?
You did. Okay. You did.
Yeah, that chicken smells really good. All right, we're coming to a restart here. 11 laps to go. Dakota Floyd trying to hang on for what would be a first Max V win and just his fourth start with the series. Patton again spinning the wheels. So is Sisseler.
Oh, Tilton 3 wide further back on the apron.
It's risky business back there. James Lehman now around the outside, but trying to take third away. And he's got it.
Get it done.
That is not good news, and now the caution is out, and that is also not good news for Scott Patton. Boy, there are drivers every which way here. Not too sure that wasn't Jordan Neese again. Poor guy's getting battered around here this race. Neese to the inside of Trent Drum. Oh, and it was not Jordan. Oh, no, it was. But Charlie Widener also had an issue there. there's the insider scoop. When he says some mayo, he really means a ton of mayo. Oh, wow, Widener. How did he not hit the barrels there? Wow. But see, that's
need a measuring tape on that one.
I mean, it couldn't have been more than just a few inches there. That was incredibly close.
I'd like to see that on board.
You know, I think I would too. We'll go old kickpot cam here for Matt Williamson's sake. And for everybody watching at home, yo! It literally does not get closer than that.
Man. That's
I'm sure he thought he was done too.
I'm sure.
Maybe he was hoping he was done.
Because he was still moving. That would have definitely suggested him with some terminal damage, I'm sure.
Has to be shredded cheese. Yeah, I mean, are people putting Kraft singles on a hot dog? I really hope not.
I don't even know how that would taste.
I can't imagine it would be good. I'm just
I feel
imagining like a boiled hot dog with a Kraft single on it, and that's maybe my future in 5 to 6 years. I hope not.
The Kraft single just takes the place of the bun, I guess.
Oh boy. All right.
Gonna have to go eat something else after this, making me hungry.
That's just the Martinsville effect here. That's also what 26 cautions does to the brain. But this is setting up for a really good finish here. No matter how we got here. Floyd trying to hang on for his first win. Patton going to be on the outside here. And James Lehman is finally up to third on the fresh tires. A 5-lap shootout here in Martinsville. Good jump for Floyd. Patton a little wheel spin. Lehman's not going to give up that positioning here on the inside.
Yeah, Floyd definitely wants to see Patton and Lehman battling as much as possible here.
Oh, Lehman is hooked up, though, out of the corner exit. He may have an opportunity to take it here into turn number 1. He sends it deep. He's got it.
Big.
4 laps to work now. He's going right for it. Lehman will look to the inside. Patton opens the door. Now the caution's out. Ty Young around. And that is a new channel record. 27th caution of the night. And it sets up right on the heels of this. I mean, more than likely we know what this incident's going to look like, so we'll take a replay here for this battle for second. As soon as I can dial it up. Let's just back this baby up. Go from the restart, following along with James Lehman. You can see Patton, I mean, that is still a decent restart there. But Lehman, just on much fresher tires, able to hold it down. Get good drive off. See how wide Patton's having to take it. Can't hold the center. Now, Garrett Rainey says he senses a bumper coming, and it is true. James Lehman will throw a bumper to anybody. But will he throw a bumper to Dakota Floyd, his real-life friend, fellow military man, co-worker, the man that he brought into this league specifically? Will he go that far? Considering of the fact that he also won last week. But you know how many times James Lehman has finished second recently? It's staggering.
More often than Floyd has finished third.
That is also true. Boy, wouldn't that be the irony of it all if Patton was able to pass them both and move Floyd back to third and have Lehman finish second. The Venom Truck Series lost their unique winner streak with a Chad Staines victory Tuesday night.
Yep.
We're not quite as deep into the season here on Thursday, but Lehman could do the same.
It's definitely possible.
First of a potential 3 attempts at an overtime, Floyd looking primed for a first career victory in Max V if he can fend off his friend James Lehman. To the restart zone. We're underway. Floyd spinning the tires. Lehman looking good on the outside here. Patton now underneath. They're spinning behind.
To the wall.
We're still green.
Patton,
he's up in Lehman!
Oh no! Oh,
the white
Rob
flag is out,
Hazenball.
and oh my sweet lord! This race is official. It's
Floyd
still
just
green.
has to make it through the corner.
Dakota Floyd, the survivor, here tonight in Martinsville. Checkers are out. Floyd is the winner in Max V. Dakota Floyd takes it. Andrew Schulte, Rod Mitten, the podium. Disaster at a turn number 4, coming to the white flag and no caution to bail the field out. A fitting end to a chaotic evening here at the Paperclip.
Man, oh man.
I mean, the events of this race notwithstanding, not a surprising result whatsoever. Floyd has been cooking and booking here in his rookie season with Max V. And it just start number 4, it's win number 1, podium number 3. Dakota Floyd burning them down. Well deserved. And don't worry, we'll go and take a look at what just happened before we send it into the podium interviews and the full finishing rundown, because there's a lot to dissect there. Short and sweet. Floyd is headed to victory lane. And how about it? Let's go ahead and take a look at the restart. We're going to follow along here with Scott Patton, who, God, where is he even at on this finishing rundown? I don't even see him. Oh, he's in 6th. Okay, I was looking too far down. So Lehman initially thought he got a pretty good restart there. Patton was there to cover him off. Now, Patton's going to lose the nose of the truck here headed into turn number 3 and slide right up into James Lehman. Right there. And from here, good God. I mean, that is an absolute, that's a used car lot. Goodness gracious. And Floyd is off and running. Schulte gets through. Mitten fends off Sisler, who would have had back-to-back podiums. There's a little spin further back there as well. Zachary Kruver and Ryan McRoberts blow it up across the stripe. Oh, my Lord. Let's take one more look, and then we'll get into everything here.
Definitely was not the bumper we expected to get put down.
And I don't think it was the one that Patton was expecting either. And you could see it kind of got set in motion there. Floyd just not able to roll the center quite as neatly. It checks Patton up. Patton, of course, losing the back end of the truck because everybody did tonight. This truck setup combo here in Martinsville is absolute junk. And that is what you get. I mean, it's not Max V's fault. It's not these drivers' fault. This setup sucks here. It is terrible. So, that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and get the full finishing rundown here after a record-setting night here on Turn 200. 27 cautions and then a 12-truck pileup to send them all home feeling great. And, of course, now we've crashed so much that the results are broken. Let's see if it'll pop up now. Yes, it does. All right. And it's already scrolled to the bottom page. There we go. Dakota Floyd, the winner. Andrew Schulte in second. Ron Mitten in third. We'll talk to these three gentlemen in a moment. Matt Sisler, Heath Smith, the top five. Scott Patton in sixth. Zachary Groover in seventh. It's Ryan McRoberts, Bill Paradise, and Greg Mull all the way back to 10th there. Wally Turheimer in 11th. Rob Ains 12th. James Lehman down to 13th. Chris Sargent, Jordan Neese, your top 15. Billy Baumgartner in 16th. Brandon Groover, Ty Young, Trent Drum, and Riley Tilton, the top 20 finishers. 21st for Matt Montenbalt. Matt Rodolasso in 22nd. Charlie Widener, George Hendricks, Jack Watson, Willie Evernham, I think, maybe running at the end of the race. Not quite sure. But for sure out from here on out. Brad Slagle, Will Kirk, Mark Jackson, Johnny Hamby, Chris Voiles, Mike Milfelt, and Michael Van, the 33 drivers that got after it here this evening. Oh, boy. Where do we even begin? I guess we should begin with your third-place driver. We called out his name quite a bit here this evening. And at the end of it all, he's going to wind up in third. How about an interview with Ron Mitten here in P3?
Hey, how's it going? I'm surprised you guys still have the broadcast going after that. But
well, we thought there might be a chance to talk to you at the end of the night, even though it seemed like the first, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 cautions, you were, I think, in all of them. And you're still here. I mean, the back half of the race went really well once you got out of the Hornet's Nest there.
yeah, we haven't had stage points all year, so coming in, I was kind of between wanting to lay back and get up there and race. We qualified 10th, so I figured the truck was at least half decent to be somewhat competitive. I don't really know if I had anything for the win, but once we got jumbled up a couple times in some of them incidents, I just figured we'd bring it down, take the lap and fix it. So we fell down a lap and were able to just kind of wait it out. I knew we were going to get a caution every 5 laps because of, what a shit show it was, but I just kind of held on, avoided the wrecks, and tried to mind our P's and Q's and came out with the top 3. It's really good to get just because of the season we've had. I think I've gotten wrecked or something has happened every week, so I don't believe we're a 20th something point team. I think we should be up there with the top guys, so hopefully this is turning the page on the season for us.
I agree, and I've been glad to see that you've been at least seemingly going full-time here this season. But, here tonight, everybody kind of had the feeling that it might turn into this. But, what is it like to actually try and keep this truck underneath of you here at Martinsville? Because it's obviously impossible.
That's the thing. It's not impossible. I think I had overdrove it once, and that was just me trying to get aggressive and race, not thinking we would get a lot of yellows. But if you just settle in and understand, that you can fall in line and make up position just by getting the truck under you, it's doable. I think what happened here tonight is just guys trying to get positions on every restart when it's a give and take, sport or whatever you want to call it, sim. Like you gotta just be patient and let the race unfold. And I think it's just something guys got to collectively kind of come together on.
Joshua, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the podium here. Man, as you're coming round 3 and 4, looking at the white flag and everything starts to unfold, what is your thought process as you see trucks start to scatter and go everywhere, knowing that you were sitting outside of the top 5 and now possibly having the chance to get up further if you can avoid. So
right, yeah, obviously, you see Scott kind of get in there a little hot and hop it and take a car out, which is a little uncharacteristic for him. He's usually pretty good at keeping the truck under him, but coming down to the wire, everybody's trying to get every inch. First off, I just want to avoid the wreck. I don't really care about gaining positions as much as just I want to finish the race. I wound up in that. I finished 20th again, and it's the story of our season, right? So just to get through it and get through somewhat clean. I mean, I think we still had 14 X on the night just from getting rear-ended 1,000 times. But yeah, just get through the wreck and get all you can get.
Well, anytime you can carry some momentum away from Martinsville, we'll chalk it up and move on. Chicagoland next week and first podium of the season. Great to get you for a full campaign here on a Thursday night as well. Looking forward to many more interviews down the road here. But let's get some shout-outs for you here before I let you go.
Yeah, just shout out to my teammate Matt sticking it out with me. I know he's kind of in the same boat with me, just trying to survive the season, getting wrecked just as much as I have, if not more. So we're just hoping to kind of turn the page as a team and get some good finishes together. And shout out to the broadcast, you guys sticking around. I know it's a late night with how long that race went, but you guys put on one of the best broadcasts in iRacing, so appreciate Turn 200 as well.
Thank you, partner. Thanks for the time here tonight, and we'll hopefully talk to you again soon.
All right, talk to you later.
Well, it's the first time talking to Rod Minton here this season, and it's the first time seeing Andrew Schulte at all here with Max V in 2025. But he puts it right back onto the podium, P2 for driver 81 here tonight. Welcome back to Booth 200, partner. It's been too long.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Well, I don't even know where to start. You got your Taco Bell rung quite a few times here tonight, but at the end of the night, you're going to walk away with the silver.
Yeah, it was certainly a long race. I don't know if we had anything for really a top five. I don't think we had a top five truck there. I had anticipated a little bit longer runs and put too much rear brake in the truck. Trying to help preserve the front tires, and that bit me in the butt real good on the short runs. I could not attack the corners at all. So these short little 2 to 7 lap sprints that we had all night long were just didn't have the truck set up enough correctly for that. And then there at the end, trying to be aggressive was just there was just nothing there that I could do, but. We got real lucky at the expense of Scott and James there, which baffled me because I saw Lehman backwards in my mirror and the caution didn't come out and the leader wasn't anywhere near the line. So I don't know what iRacing's programming was there, but I felt like we should have been stacking them up again. But yeah, nonetheless, a P2 and is good to be back.
It is definitely awesome to have you back. And when you managed to get up at the front of the field on the restarts there, it seemed like you and Scott were really the only two drivers all night long that were actually able to fire off on that outside line, at least when you were started on the outside of the front row there. I mean, the wheel spin looked pretty evil on these trucks on all the restarts.
Yeah, anytime that I was up there, I think when Heath was leading down the backstretch, I kept kind of testing it and seeing where the grip levels were at, because I think like the first 1 or 2 restarts that I had out there, I just hammered it down and lit the tires up. But then I tried to get into a rhythm of figuring out kind of where the grip level was and how much gas I could give it. And yeah, and being up on the outside, I think all the rear brake that I had in it helped get it to rotate and have some speed out there, or at least be a little competitive in the outside lane for a couple laps. But yeah, it certainly was an interesting race.
Joshua, what you got?
Man, congrats on the P2 again. But you were making good ground towards the beginning of the race, and then involved in a few incidents there towards the mid race before you were able to work your way back up. What is that like as far as your mentality when you get involved with something? Do you get nervous or kind of upset with yourself, or do you just have to tighten up the virtual belts and head down and keep running?
Yeah, it certainly makes you second guess pitting when you come down and not a whole lot of people come down with you. That's what's interesting with Martinsville, is people are pitting all the time and no one's really on a cycle. So when you do pit, you're going to put yourself back in traffic, and then it's just trying to mind your P's and Q's, and even if you're not really doing anything, you can get caught up in something real quick. So it's thankfully the damage doesn't really affect the truck that much handling wise. So anything that you do acquire isn't all that bad, but it is hard trying to just stay content and be like, and just try and work your way back up through the field, keep your truck clean, and it's all just luck. I mean, you can have someone spin out in front of you and you check up and get ran over from behind in a matter of seconds and ruin your race. So we did get caught up in a couple things, but I think we did get lucky also getting around a couple other spins that were around us and not getting collected in it.
Well, it's great to get to talk to you here again on a Thursday night. Are we planning more starts or was this sort of a one-off?
Might have been a one-off for now. Just stars aligned with all the kids sleeping and giving me a little bit of free time to come down here and hang out with the guys and get some racing in. Most times it's getting down here at like 11:30, maybe getting in a C-fixed race or two. But yeah, we were able to get down here early enough for Max Velocity tonight, and glad to be back on the podium again.
Let's get some shout-outs before we let you go.
Turn 200 crew as always. Love what you guys do. Love your broadcasts and everything you have to say during the race. All the admin crew at Max Velocity, I know they had a rough go of it tonight, and I appreciate them putting up with all of it. I know this is an oddity for us to have this many cautions in a race, but thankful for everything that they do for the league and give us a great place to race, and my wife and kids as always.
Alrighty, partner. Well, I hope to get to do this again here soon, but it's great to get to talk to you here tonight and go celebrate the P2, and all the best to you and yours. We'll hopefully talk to you again soon.
Thanks, sir.
All right, we made him wait long enough. 2/3 in a row. Tonight is finally the night. Dakota Floyd, in just 4 starts, he's the man on the top of the box here tonight. How about it, partner?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Well, it doesn't matter how we got there because it was quite the interesting night overall. But you get the dub, and we thought maybe you had a shot at it here at some point soon, but maybe not tonight, considering the fact, especially who you were lining up with there on that final restart. James Lehman, Scott Patton, 2 of our best short track racers. You had already been playing defense for, 25, 30 laps against Patton up to that point? I mean, talk about a daunting task.
Yeah, it's a lot of those guys that started in the top 5 were lights out. I mean, but having that pole position on the restarts was king. I mean, you get such a good jump going into one, and the clean air is everything. So as long as I didn't give up the bottom and overshoot a corner, I knew I could at least hold them back. But that last restart, they were right on top of me, and I thought for sure one of those times I'd shuffle up a little bit and they'd be able to get under me, but we were able to pull it away.
Now, here's my question. Were you expecting, maybe not from Scott Patton, because he's usually pretty clean, even though he does want the win. Were you expecting to get turned by James there?
No. I know those guys wouldn't turn me for a win. No. Maybe a bump into the corner to shuffle me up. I was
sure.
Definitely expecting that, but no, I know those guys wouldn't turn me for a win.
Yeah, I didn't mean quite dramatically like that, but, James is pretty aggressive, but he didn't even get the chance because he got wiped out first. So, Joshua, what you got for a race winner?
Man, congrats on nabbing the win on race 4 here with Max V. But looking more towards the points aspect of it, with Justin Michael not being here tonight and Lehman ending up 13th, I believe. What kind of confidence does that give you moving into the rest of the season, as now you've been up on the podium for 3 of the 4 races that you've competed in?
I feel pretty good, especially looking at a lot of the tracks that are coming up. I feel really confident in a lot of those tracks. So the rest of the schedule looks pretty strong for me, and I'm just really hoping to keep bringing it back on the podium. So I'd say the confidence is really good to keep climbing the points little bit by little bit. Maybe get 1 or 2 more wins in there, but this is a tough field, so nothing's ever guaranteed.
It's a tough field, and you've walked them in terms of podiums. Third, first, last 3 weeks in a row, and probably could have got one at Daytona as well. So awesome start to the season. Congrats on the first career victory here with Max V. Let's get some shout-outs before we let you go.
As always, I know it was Martinsville, so it was tough, but everybody stuck it out. So definitely shout out to everybody. It was a long one, so good on everybody for sticking it out and really getting to the end on this one. And shout out to the admins of the league. I know there's probably going to be some tough calls tonight, going back and probably revising some rules and getting things ready for the next short track, so we don't maybe come into this kind of thing again. So I know they work really hard on getting these fields to have the retention that they have. So definitely shout out to those guys, and shout out to you guys at the broadcast booth. You guys do a phenomenal job, and it's awesome to go back and watch these races. And shout out to everybody that watches and supports the league. Without you guys, we don't got a show to put on.
We knew it was only a matter of time, but it's tonight here at Martinsville in overtime. Dakota Floyd, first-time winner with Max V. Go celebrate, go party hard. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week in Chicagoland.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Almost a wonderful morning. Rarely do we have a 2+ hour broadcast, and we're creeping up on 2.5 here. So we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick. So what are your final thoughts to wrap up the night here, Mr. Motichek?
Man, caution field race, but still a pretty good one nonetheless. We had several great battles out there up front, all to turn it up there on the last green-white checkered. Definitely always enjoy watching these guys on a Thursday night. It's always a blast being up here.
Yeah, and we will definitely have it cleaned up, hopefully by next... I mean, we'll definitely have it cleaned up next week comparatively. At Chicagoland, excited for that one. And thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us here this evening at Martinsville. Thank you to, of course, the Motichek gang as always. Robin Motichek, Bailey Marie. Shout out to Garrett Rainey for sticking it out with us here this evening as well. Thank you to Marilyn Beck and Michelle Kirk cheering on Will Kirk. Hopefully he will have better luck really anywhere, but particularly at Chicagoland next week as well. And thank you to Sarah for hopping in the chat there late in support of Riley Tilton as well. So some upcoming broadcasts. We've got the Special Stage Pro Truck Series tomorrow night from the Brands Hatch Rally Cross Course, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Monday night, it is the final Truck 200 race. It will also be at Chicagoland. Come celebrate the closing of the shop in Matt and I's home state of Illinois. It is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. I'm sure we'll have some special stuff and some goodies for that one as well. We'll crown a champion. It very well could be Justin Michael, who took the night off here tonight. He may be glad that he did that. Tuesday night Venom Truck Series, that will be Mr. Joshua Motichek's domain. He will be the favorite headed into the first Venom Truck Series race at Bristol Dirt in 4 seasons. That will be an exciting one, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Matt Williamson will also be competing in that one. That's just going to be a really fun night. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Very excited for it. And that will lead us into Chicagoland next Thursday night here with Max V, CNC Home Designs Truck Series at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Chicagoland. Thank you to CNC Home Designs as well. And we're thinking of everybody in Florida here. Crazy, crazy times down there. Hopefully everybody is staying safe. Thank you to Kerry Cleaver and Deb for their continued support of the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Thank you to the admin team. Thank you to the admin team. Thank you to the admin team. They have a lot of work cut out for them here tonight. And a reminder, not every race is like this. In fact, there's not ever been a race like this. So if you want to come race with Max V in the ARCA series, it's maxvracing.com to get registered and come run with this group in the ARCA car on Monday nights. It'll be a blast. That's all we got for you here tonight. On behalf of Mr. Joshua Motichek, I'm Tommy Cook saying, until we meet again, so long, and congratulations to Dakota Floyd, a first-time winner with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series here at Martinsville. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.